Hi, my name is Matt Balducci, the CEO and host of the Slight Edge Network. And today what we're going to cover is how to build rapport. So over the last decade, I've trained hundreds of salespeople as well as have taught this to many friends, family, and different people on how to build a quick relationship. I think it's one of the most important skills you can learn, whether you are a salesperson, an entrepreneur, you're looking for a new job, you're just out and about meeting new friends. It's really, really important to learn how to talk to people and how to build a rapport. All it really means is just building a quick relationship. It's basically building some sort of kind of conversation around the other person. There's two main ways that I teach this, and the first one is with a concept called 2 questions and a share. So what this concept simply is that you guys have probably heard the whole age-old adage of you have 2 ears, 1 mouth. It's simple. You should be talking 33% of the time when you're talking to somebody and let them talk 66% of the time. Now, obviously you can't tally up what percentage everyone's talking in a conversation, but what I all the time see when I'm talking to different people is people talk way more than they listen. And that is not a good thing to do if you're trying to run a successful business, if you're looking to make sales, if you're in a job interview. Ultimately what it comes down to is that you have to learn how to listen. So what it comes down to with 2 questions and a share is simple. You're gonna ask somebody 2 questions before you share anything about yourself. So when I meet somebody for the first time, I have in my head, I have a kind of almost a black book of different questions that I can ask that will lead them to basically building a small relationship. Now, I'm gonna go very basic and very simple with you guys, and this is a skill. Some people are a little better than this naturally, but it is something you can develop, and ultimately it is a very, very important skill to learn. So whether you're going to a networking event, or you are, again, going to a job interview, or you're doing a pitch to a VC firm, whatever that might be, it comes down to learning how to build rapport with everyone. Simple question number 1, how are you doing today? Right? So I'm gonna ask that. Now, question 1, if you wanna write this down on your notes while you're watching this, question 1 is always gonna be a very basic fundamental question like, what type of plans do you have for the weekend? What do you like to do on the weekend? How are you doing today? Something very simple. Because what I want to do is that's going to be basically the start of the conversation. Then question number 2 now is I'm going to take whatever they say and I'm going to go 1 layer deeper. So what that might look like if I say, hey, what are your plans for the weekend? And the person replies, well, I'm going to go fishing. Then I'm going to ask a question about fishing. Then if I know a lot about fishing, which I personally don't, then what I'm gonna do is talk about the last time I went fishing and where I went fishing, and now all of a sudden within those couple minutes, we have an instant connection. And what your goal is here, guys, and I'm gonna explain it very technically, is you're trying to basically find a connector that makes both you and the person you're talking to feel like you're part of the same tribe. So what that means is it's actually a psychological thing that as human beings, we need to belong. We need to be a part of different things. And if you watch many different videos out there, one of the things you're gonna find is that people want to belong. So what you have to figure out is when you're talking to somebody is what is the thing that connects you guys? Is it where you're from? Is it that you like the same sports team? Is it that you like the same activity? Is it that their kids go to the high school you went to? What are the different things that connect you guys? And what that's gonna do, and once you connect, is it's gonna build instant trust. So the best example I can give you is this. I traveled actually to Barcelona about 2 years ago, and I was in Spain. And obviously in Spain, they speak Spanish. I don't speak very good Spanish. Luckily, my wife speaks fluent Spanish, so she was my translator. And we were actually on the metro out there, taking the train. And while we were on the train, I heard an American voice coming from down the train, and we kind of skedaddled down a little bit, and as we were getting off the train, I just said, hey, where are you from? And they said, oh, we're from New York. And I said, no way, I'm from Chicago. And even though we're from 2 separate parts of the United States, because we were in Barcelona in Europe, we actually were now instantly part of the same tribe. I can also give an example of when I'm out and about and I'm talking to anybody and I'm in any town. So I was in Colorado recently, and while I was in Colorado, my friend and I went to a Colorado Rockies game. And obviously when we were out and about at the bars, hanging out, having fun, one of the biggest things that we would bring up is, hey, we're going to a Colorado's Rockies game. And if they were from Colorado, they were probably a Rockies fan. So ultimately, I knew a little bit enough about the Rockies to where I could hold my own. And again, even though I was from a completely different place, we became instant friends. So ultimately, what I'm trying to teach you guys here is this, is that at the end of the day, if you can build rapport, it's gonna allow you to be more successful just in every aspect of your life, whether it's making more friends, building relationships with coworkers, growing a business, working with your employees. If you are an employee, working with your bosses. There's a lot of different things that will help you with this. So again, back to the technical 2 questions and a share. As you guys can see, it's very structured. Basic question, a little bit more deeper, and then I'm gonna share and try to find something that connects us. Now I'm gonna do this until I connect with the person. So what I figured out is that this system of going 2 questions and a share, 1, makes you conscious that you're not talking more than 33% of the time. And what it also does is it allows for you to focus on the client and let them talk about themselves. So why do people like to talk about themselves? Simple, they don't get to do it often. So when you're in college, okay, and you're a college student, you're running around meeting all the new people on campus, yes, you get to talk about yourself all the time. But as I know as a 30-year-old man, once you get out of college and you've been out for a while, the people you see often are your coworkers, you see your family, and maybe some of the same people at kind of the local things you do, maybe at the gym or whatever it is. And ultimately, no one ever comes up to you at the gym and goes, hey, tell me more about you, tell me more about yourself. It doesn't happen often. And a lot of people crave that. They actually crave the need to talk about themselves, and they don't get to do it often. They don't get to talk about their passions and their dreams and all the different things. And so what I found is that people love to talk about themselves. Now, there's an easy way to break this down. It's called FORD. So F-O-R-D. F is for family, O is for occupation, R is for recreation, and D is for dreams or their future goals or their passions. And if you understand these 4 things, what I'm looking to do is try to connect in one of these categories. Now, if you think of your parents, I bet you that you can pinpoint if you ask them a question. So for instance, if I talk to my dad, he can run his mouth forever about my son, Nolan, who's a 1-year-old, and he's his grandkid. He can talk constantly about him, and he will talk to you for hours. I know if you talk to my brother, if you talk to him about sports, he will talk to you for hours. And so again, I'm not telling you to go out there, guys, and fake this. You need to genuinely have an interest in what you're communicating to that person about. Like I said earlier, I don't know much about fishing, but I have gone fishing. So when that person said, hey, Matt, I'm a big fisherman, I would have said, sweet. A couple years ago, I was fishing in Alaska, and I would show them a picture of some of the halibut that we caught, and that would connect us, even though I'm not a big fisherman. But then I would let them know, hey, I don't fish often, but that was a really, really cool trip. And now we're instantly connected. So again, if you look at the 2 different techniques, which is 2 questions and a share, and then FORD, you're gonna be able to start consciously building relationships and rapport. And then after a while, you won't even have to think anymore. It'll just come off instantly, come off genuine, and you'll be able to actually build a rapport, build a relationship. So I hope this helped you guys, whether again, you're growing a business, you're just looking to make more friends, you're out there right now and you just graduated and you're not ready for the culture shock that you're not gonna see new people every single day, and you have to learn how to actually talk to new people. And ultimately it comes down to learning the system to grow your companies and build a rapport. So I hope that helped. Subscribe below, guys, and again, go try this out. That's my #1 tip in all my videos, is go implement what I'm teaching you right now. Go implement it. Go try it out, see how it goes, okay? And put comments below. Let me know if you realize that maybe you go build rapport with the person that you buy coffee from every day. I do this all the time where I get to know everyone, and you better believe you're gonna have a better life. I get free coffee all the time, free food, free things. People are nicer to me, and all I'm trying to do is put a smile on their face and learn about them and let them talk about themselves. They don't get to do it often, so I highly recommend that. I'm excited for you guys to go implement this, and you're gonna have a much better life. Good luck, have fun.